I'm Scott Allen Miller, and this is my life living in Leon, Nicaragua. Today, I'm just going to touch on that subject of why is it that Nicaragua is the ultimate place for you who don't actually want to take advantage of Nicaragua. Okay, I know what you're thinking. But what I mean is some of you are looking to maybe retire, or you're looking for a slower pace of life. And some of those things are provided by Nicaragua, but the Nicaraguan things, right? The restaurants, the live musics, the going out and exploring the country, these aren't things for you. Maybe you want to sit on a beach, so you're taking advantage of some things, but maybe you want the cooler weather up in the mountains. Maybe you're a homebody, you're a little bit introverted, and that's okay. We love you guys too. What are you going to do here in Nicaragua? Does Nicaragua still make sense for you? I think it makes a lot of sense for you. Of course, I am a big fan of Nicaragua, so I might be a little bit biased, but let's adjust for that. I still think it's a very good idea to take a look at Nicaragua if that's what you want to do. You want to stay home and read a book, you want to watch TV, you want a place where you can watch movies, you want to get sucked into a bunch of video games, or you just want to hang out on YouTube and watch awesome shows like this. Great. Nicaragua might be the right place for you. We're going to talk about that right after the bump. Latin America, and Nicaragua being no exception, being in the middle of Latin America, has a reputation for being really drawn out as far as it's an extrovert kind of culture. If you're going around the world and you're thinking what places on earth are more extroverted, you're probably going to jump, even if you're not thinking about it very articulately, you're thinking about Latin America. It is a very, very outgoing culture. It's very emotional. It's very exciting. It's very outdoors. It's very go to restaurants, go to events, go to carnivals, be outside, meet with people. It's always about people, people, people. People love to talk. People love to hang out. People love to socialize. People like to go places and do things. This is very Latin America, right? So Nicaragua is one of the most outgoing of the Latin American countries. The weather and stuff really makes, the climate really makes that kind of the way things work. So when we're talking about and when we're picturing and describing Nicaragua, for a lot of you, it has a tendency to be like, look at all the great things you can do. You can go out and meet people here. You can go out and hang out with friends here. You can socialize in this way. You can do this event and that event and all these great things to get out. And for a lot of people who are looking at Latin America, that sounds fantastic. But there is an entire group of you, quite a few million of you, who are thinking, well, that's nice for people who want to go out and want to socialize, but what about those of us who really mostly want to sit home and enjoy our own space and our own quiet privacy and so forth? There's a lot of people who, yeah, you might want to go out sometimes, of course, but mostly you want to stay home and recharge your batteries. You want to be able to watch TV. You want to binge those series on Netflix. You want to spend time playing, the longest video games you can possibly imagine, right? You're getting into online multiplayer games, all kinds of things, right? You all have your separate things you do at home. And of course, I'm just talking about media consumption kind of things, but maybe you want to really focus on working from home. Maybe you want to write the next great novel. Maybe you are doing some handicrafts, or maybe you're knitting, or whatever thing it is you like to do. You like to be at home and have time to yourself, and you want to be able to enjoy those activities. And that doesn't sound like the Nicaragua experience. And I would agree, that is not what we think of as the Nicaragua experience in any way, shape, or form. We really think of it quite the opposite. However, that doesn't change the fact that if you were to look at doing those activities in different places, I think you may find that Nicaragua makes a lot of sense. Now, of course, when we're talking about many of those activities, we immediately picture American life, right? North American life, Canadian life, whatever. It's very much we focus on the inside of our homes. We tend to be closed up. We want a quiet space and so forth. And it's just what we picture. When we picture going out in a lively, lifestyle outside, then the Nicaragua thing tends to be what pops into our mind. This can mislead us a little bit. Imagine if you were to come to Nicaragua, to any place in Latin America, of course, but Nicaragua being a great example. There are some things that would really matter to you as an introvert in most cases. One of those is that you have a high degree of safety. Of course, you don't want to be living in a place where you're worried about your safety. That goes for just about anyone. Introvert, extrovert, doesn't matter. Well, Nicaragua has you there, right? We're a very safe country, so that's a great starting point. Next up is that houses are cheap, whether you're renting, getting an apartment, buying a house, whatever, whether it's a temporary thing, like you're like a digital nomad, but you maybe not even working, just a retired nomad, whatever. You want to put in a little bit of time, a season here in Nicaragua, or you're someone who's looking at a lifetime or maybe retirement in Nicaragua, and you could be looking at really investing and getting a house and getting the perfect spot, then great. But it also could go for rentals, right? So everyone is covered here. It's less expensive than nearly anywhere else in the region to be able to get housing. And that means you're spending less time worried about the cost of housing, less time worried about the overhead of housing. Now, it is true, searching for certain types of short-term rentals here in Nicaragua is quite difficult in most cases. So that is a negative. It's not a 100% win in all cases, but in general, we have things pretty good. If you want to be spending your time in a hotel, in a hostel, in an Airbnb, or actually getting a long-term rental, meaning 6+ months, then Nicaragua's really got you. It's the in-between. I don't want to be in a hostel. I don't want to do an Airbnb, but I don't want to stay more than 6 months. That's when it starts to get a little bit difficult. So for those people, yeah, that is definitely harder. But in general, housing here is very inexpensive. It is very safe, and it's very easy beyond that initial discovery phase. So that makes it that it's just that much easier month to month to deal with having a home where you can do those things that you want to do, whatever hobby or TV or book or whatever that you're planning on doing. For us, you know, I tend to work from home, so I spend a lot of time in my office at a computer programming or overseeing engineering projects. So that's very much like that. Even though I'm a very outgoing person, I also really enjoy having a great space to be able to work. My kids love playing video games and watching TV shows, not traditional like Netflix series and stuff. They binge them. And so they really like having a nice quiet place where they can do that. Being in Nicaragua makes it so much easier to just have a home, have that safety. And if you want additional things, right? You want to get internet. Well, the internet is generally cheaper here than a lot of places you might be considering. You want to have someone who cooks for you too, or you want to have food delivery. While those things aren't as cheap as cooking for yourself, they're certainly much more affordable here in Nicaragua than most places, especially if you want to hire your own cook. So you start getting into, ooh, I could spend more time doing whatever it is that I like and less time having to clean my house or cook for myself or go out and do errands or repair things in the house myself. It's so much easier to hire someone to do those things for you here in Nicaragua than nearly anywhere else, that those things make it that much more comfortable and safe and convenient to be able to live here than other options. And of course, when you do want to go outside and you want to go check out a restaurant or whatever, then it's generally lower cost here in Nicaragua than other places. And whilst not everyone is worried about the price of going out, that's some people have no financial concerns, money's not really an object, it still makes everything just a little bit more comfortable and easy and approachable. It's easier for people to come visit you as well. Although if you're introverted, maybe that's not something that you're looking for. Maybe you want to create a little bit of a barrier, but you can move into the interior of the country if that's what you want to do and avoid people a little bit more. Basically, Nicaragua gives you more choices. It gives you more power to choose what makes sense for you. Now, it's not the ultimate in the introvert landscape, right? There's lots of places that are going to work really well too, but I think that it's easy to overlook. When we picture Nicaragua, we're thinking about tropical weather and beautiful beaches and some gorgeous mountains and outdoor activities and all these things. And when we say, well, that's not what I'm looking for, it's easy to rule out a place like Nicaragua, assuming that without those things, it doesn't have the value, the draw that you might want to live a different type of lifestyle. And for those who only care about the weather, yes, Nicaragua is quite warm. But if you're looking for a place where you can hunker down, get away from people, and be kind of isolated, Nicaragua really does handle that excessively well. And there's just so many ways that it's as comfortable or more comfortable than nearly anywhere you can imagine, as long as the outdoor weather is working for you. Now, that is, you know, when you are going to be playing video games all day, you are maybe, you know, this would be a great place to be a Twitch streamer, right? You can stream online just as well as anywhere else. Our internet is excellent here. Just make sure you're in an area that gets good fiber or really good cable connections. We have pretty reliable power. A lot of people ask about that. We've done a lot of videos explaining how the power works, but as someone who does do streaming, just not video game streaming, right? I have never had to cut a live stream because of a lack of power. My internet stays up, my battery backups stay up. The power outages are so short that we never have had a situation where we had to worry about not being able to work and keep our computers going. We do shut off our air conditioning. That I don't like. But other than that, just running off of UPS batteries is enough to keep us running through nearly everything, at least out here in Leon. So if those are things you're doing, this is a great location for that stuff. It really does meet those needs quite easily. Some things are a little bit harder, right? Getting a good video game computer shipped into the country, getting a big screen TV, right? Those are one-time things you'll have to deal with, paying a little bit more hassle and so forth, but you'll be able to get them. You have those options, and it's so much cost savings and everything else that it really isn't a big deal in 99% of cases. So I really just want to kind of propose Nicaragua as this completely different place, because I do have a wife and daughters who do like to be isolated and do things on their own. They're not looking to go out and do extroverted stuff all the time like me, and I'm busy, so even though I love doing it, I also really like being able to stay home and work, and I want overhead of life to be as little as possible. My work is very important for me to support my family, and I really enjoy the work that I do, so it's also my hobby. But I do know very acutely that they really appreciate the ability to not have to go out and do things, right? Even going shopping for the groceries, we can send someone to get the groceries. We can send someone to do other types of shopping. We can send someone out to the hardware store to get the parts to repair things. And you don't have to if that's not something you want to do. But if you want to avoid going out and interacting with people, that Nicaragua could empower you to have the flexibility to choose just how much you're going to have other people take care of things for you, so you don't have to go out and do it. Now, of course, you want to take care of your yard, you're on your own, like you can do whatever you want. You want to hire gardeners, you can hire gardeners, and so forth. It's just a different way of looking at Nicaragua. Don't rule it out because you're not looking for the things that it's often famous for, because I still think it provides a really good framework for those times when you want to just have a really comfortable living room, put on a big screen TV, kick back and watch movies for the next year. There's no reason that you couldn't do that in Nicaragua. Why pay to be in a place that's more expensive? Sure, the outdoors of beautiful tropical trees and the palm trees and the blue skies and the beautiful flowers and the crashing waves and all that of Nicaragua are going to be calling you and luring you out of your cozy little nest of a home. But if you can resist it, you are given the choices of doing the things that you want to do. And when you do venture out from your home, why not be in paradise, since it's not going to cost you anything extra and you're going to be getting all these extra benefits anyway? Just a different way of thinking about Nicaragua. It's something that every so often comes up in my mental space, and I thought that it would be good to make a little video talking about it. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Like and subscribe if you'd like to help support the channel. Ooh, we got a beautiful breeze all of a sudden. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/ScottAlanMiller. It's like Patreon, comes directly to me and helps pay for the cameras and the computers and all the things we need to do to make this show every day. We make it every day here in paradise. We do love it here, and we really appreciate all the support that you guys show. It is a wonderful community that we have living in my little GoPro box. And of course, watch another video to help support the channel. Give us that thumbs up. That helps. All those little things, they really do help. Just getting in the comments and saying hello helps tell YouTube that you're engaged on this content and it matters to you. And of course, share on social media, tell someone about the show, and I will see all of you tomorrow.